There's this guy I call basically every time I have a problem. Well, I used to call every time I had a problem, and he's a bit like a big brother figure to me. I mean, I've told him that myself. I don't have any siblings, but I almost see him as like a big brother figure to me. I've told him that, and we're pretty close. But every time I call him, he would always say the same thing. No matter what my problem was, whether it was dating, business, personal, literally anything in between, he would always say, I think you're overthinking it. And I found that really powerful because, yes, turns out I do overthink quite a lot. I used to, and I still do sometimes, unfortunately. So obviously, to start off the video, don't overthink, but that's obvious. Everybody says it. You shouldn't overthink. And it's really a shame that we live in a world where overthinking is the default and it's almost encouraged. It's like, oh yes, make sure to reflect on the decisions you want to make. Make sure to think about all the potential consequences of your actions. How many times have you heard that? Think about the consequences of your actions before you do them. Obviously, I'm not telling you to go stab people, but you probably don't want to stab people. And if you do, you probably belong in a mental institution. And you're probably not watching this video. But for a lot of things, thinking less is going to be better. But we all know that, right? So then we move on. But actually, what we need to get to, and the point I'm trying to get to on my journey to enlightenment, is not thinking at all. And you might think that's crazy, because everybody's told you that's crazy, because everybody's told you that the person who thinks through his decisions is the wise one, the one who is responsible, the one who we should look up to. Maybe not. And you might think, like, how is that even possible? How am I supposed to live without thinking? Have you ever had this thing? Imagine you're in the gym. Hopefully you go to the gym, but imagine you're in the gym or you're literally anywhere. Or maybe have we all bought something at a supermarket? Imagine you're walking through a supermarket and you see something on the shelf. Something you want to buy. You pass by it. It crosses like your field of vision. And you're like, oh, I want to buy that. You go and buy it. But you can understand what I'm trying to say. It's not really a thought. It's more of like a feeling, an intuition of the action without any verbal thoughts. And you just go and do that thing. So now imagine if your entire life was just that, but with action. So when you see a pretty girl, instead of thinking about anything, you just have this weird intuition, this desire. It's more of a desire, actually. It's not a thought. It's a desire to talk to her. You walk over and you talk to her. I can guarantee you that is going to be better than any cold approach you've ever done, or a warm approach or whatever, because you didn't overthink it. Every single second you overthink, you've heard this probably, but every single second you overthink makes the conversation worse by like 10%. It's not a statistic, but it makes the conversation worse every single time. That's what I've noticed. That's what a lot of other people have noticed. And even during the conversation, instead of thinking about a smart, funny thing to say, you know how sometimes you can have a conversation without actually thinking the thoughts. Like right now when I'm talking to you, I don't think about what I want to say next. I wrote down what I want to say. And every single word that comes out of my mouth just comes out of my mouth. I don't think about it before saying it, if that makes sense. And again, people tell you, oh no, you should think about what you're going to say before you say it. I'm not going to say stupid shit on here. I'm not going to give you examples, but I'm not going to say something that I don't believe in that's really stupid and immature and hateful, for example, because I don't want to, right? I want to get my message across and then finish recording this and then go on with my life, trying to reach enlightenment. So you can see and just imagine how good your life would be if everything you did, from buying your groceries to some extent, to talking to people, to cold approaching people, to working on your business, came from this pure desire, intuition of what to do. And the other thing is, like, your best ideas don't actually come when you're thinking about something. They usually come when you're not thinking about it, and they just come to you. Yet again, thinking doesn't help. Now, are you going to be able to live based off of this like weird intuition kind of thing all the time? Probably not. But should you aim for that and then still have like the 5 minutes where you think about what groceries you need to get? Yeah, probably. I don't know if I would even count that as thinking, because you're not actually thinking about the groceries. You're not debating whether you should get eggs or not. You're just like, oh, right, I need to get eggs. You're remembering the things you need to buy. You're not thinking about it. Now, this could be just me playing with definitions, because this is a slightly new idea I've had, but I don't think so. When it's desire or remembering, that's not the same as thinking. When I say thinking, I mean like ruminating. I mean thinking about the consequences, well, I use the word inside of the definition. By thinking, I mean verbally, but like in your mind, verbally describing the consequences, the benefits, and the costs of doing something. That's what I mean by thinking. And that's like part of it. There's probably another definition. And that's what I want to get to on my journey to enlightenment, because most thoughts are just useless and a waste of energy. You could probably realize this. If we got you to write down every single thought you had, a lot of them would be repetitive. A lot of them would not even help you, and a lot of them wouldn't even be true. So most thoughts are just wasteful, useless, and unhelpful, like actively unhelpful to your life and helping you achieve your goals. And there's two things that help me with this. Is number one, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, which is like, imagine you need to get your car technical check, like for the people at the garage to check like the tires, the engine, whatever they check. You need to do that in 6 months. Are you going to start thinking about that now? No, you're just going to cross that bridge when you get to it. Or imagine you want to get to the airport and you're like, oh, what if there's traffic? Okay, then I guess I'll take this route. No, you have your route. It doesn't look like there's going to be traffic. Oh shit, there was a car crash that I couldn't have expected. Okay, what do we do now? Well, we're 2 hours ahead, so we can take this other road and we'll still be on time. Maybe a little later than we would have wanted to, but we're still on time, so it's fine. You cross that bridge when you get to it. A lot of thinking, what thinking is just worrying about the future or reflecting on the past in general. Not how bad it was, but just on the past. And the second rule is just doing what you want, which is going back to this like desire thing. When you're in the supermarket, when you're thinking about your grocery list, when you want to approach a girl, it's not that you're thinking about anything, it's that you have a desire and then you should just act on it without thinking about it. So that's where just do what you want with everything in life. What business you want to work on, what you want to do later on, what person you want to talk to, how you want to dance at a party, whether you want to drink or not. Just do what you want. And you might think that's dangerous, like what if I want to do something really bad for me? If you're at the point where you still think you want to do things that are bad for you, like imagine you want to do heroin, don't follow this rule. But most people, if you are on self-improvement or you've actually been doing this for a while, you probably don't want to do heroin. I mean, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. It's that simple. And for this kind of desire, doing what you want, you don't need the voice in your head. You just have this weird like pull towards things and you just allow your body to flow with that. What does this lead to? In terms of dating, I think this leads to like the fun guys, not just fun, but like hot fun guys, people worth dating. Like the people who just have a good time, they do what they want, they don't particularly care about consequences. And if you do what you want, you probably want to be in shape because that makes you look good and feel good. So you're going to go work out. Hot fun guy. In terms of work, that's the productive guy because he doesn't overthink things. He doesn't do random shit or try bad ideas out. He just does what he wants because what he wants is to get to his goal in terms of work, achieving his milestones, whatever it is. That's a productive guy. It's also a guy who's relaxed and somebody who's extremely present, which is very attractive to a lot of people because most people aren't particularly present nowadays. You can always kind of tell they're off somewhere in their headspace, which is deeply, I just don't like it. And most people don't. Like, you know, when you're talking to someone and they just say, oh, yeah, but you can tell they're not listening to you. That's like, I don't think that's as annoying as somebody who you can't tell if they really are. Because sometimes it looks like they are and sometimes it doesn't look like they are. Because when they're just not paying attention to you, you just stop talking and you're like, okay, I'll wait for you to finish whatever you're doing. But when they're in between, it's more annoying. And when you live like this, life is just great. Now, I don't claim to be at this point yet. But that's what I'm pushing for. And every step I take in this direction just makes my life not infinitely better, but it makes my life a lot better every single step of the way. And how do you get to this? I would say meditation in terms of being present and noticing your thoughts, and non-neediness, which is not caring more about what you think of yourself than what other people think of you, because a lot of thinking is thinking about what other people think of us, which we develop when we're like 2 or 3 years old. If you don't know me, I'm trying to reach enlightenment, and I basically document the journey and the things I learn along the way.